man. Shut up, man. Okay, I got you. I'll get that. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh shall bless. Shabbat Shalom, Israel. We're going to go into class today. We're going to go through the Pharisees, the Scribes, Pharisees, and Sadducees. We get a little more history than what we know. I hear about it, a lot about it, but we're going to learn a little bit about them and how they came about a little bit and what happened. First, before we start, who got a Zondervan? Get out your Zondervan Bible dictionaries if you got one. And turn to page 453. Let me put these glasses on. I ain't gonna be able to see nothing more. And first, what we're gonna go through right now, I just want to give y'all a little history, some definitions. Better yet, Jeremiah, I got a page one for him. Right there, so you can see the titles on them right there. I hadn't been through it all, but I want to read some of that too before we even get started. Here, use this one. Let me see yours. And you can start reading from there, point on right there. And this is out of the Zondervan Bible. Y'all need to get you one of these. Get them at any one of them bookstores. Get you one of those. Got a lot of good definitions on some deep things about our people and things you don't know about. It'll give you the definitions on there. But we're gonna get the definition of Pharisees in this one right here. So go ahead.
Out of the Compact Bible Dictionary, definition of Pharisees. Of the three prominent societies of Judaism at the time of Christ, Pharisees, Sadducees, and Essenes.
Yeah, see, and at this time we had, after the Maccabean period, we had people that broke off. Well, they didn't break off. They was sections, just like we do today. We got some who think they all that, got money. You know, they done classified themselves because we started learning the ways the heathen was doing things. Just like in America, got classification. The rich, the poor, the middle class, and all those same things. But we did that after the Maccabean period, after the Greek captivity, after we came and started doing the same things. We had 4 different sects, main sects anyway. It was a lot of different ones, but it was 4 main ones. That's the Pharisees, Sadducees, the Essenes, and the Zealots. And Christianity became one of them later on. So that's what it's talking about. So it was 4 sects of different people. They had some of them had the same beliefs, like you had the Sadducees and Zealots almost had the same beliefs, but you had the Pharisees, which had a different belief. That, you know, people started splitting and separating themselves on what they believe and that didn't interpret like that. And we'll find out these things about.
The Pharisees were by far the most influential. The origin of this most strict sect of the Jews, Acts 26 and 5.
Acts 26 and 5. If y'all got time to go to it later, we'll go ahead.
Is obscure, but it is believed. But it is believed the organization came out of the Maccabean revolt.
That was after, that's what I was talking about, after the captivity, when the Maccabeans revolted against the Greek. We got a little beside ourselves, thinking, yeah, so we started getting ourselves and separating ourselves from what we had learned during the Greek captivity. If y'all notice, a lot of stuff that we had done came after the Greek captivity. We've been under captivity from a lot of them, but we took a lot of influence from the so-called white men. Why? I don't know. Maybe they just, because, I don't know, red skin must look glorious. I don't know. We do the same thing today. We do the same thing today. Right now, when you're trying to teach somebody, if a white man ain't told them what to say, they don't want to hear from you. You could say to them, and then some dude from job will tell them, oh, yeah, you know that they'll come to you. You know, such and such, I told you that the other day, but you didn't want to hear me. But that's what our society, our people do. Same thing they've been doing. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing new under the sun. We were the same people today as we were yesterday.
Even to bring it up to today, like you say, that's why you got Presbyterian, We got Pentecostals, we got Baptists. These are just the same things with the name just changed.
Yeah, and what they do in them churches. I'm a Baptist. I'm Pentecostal. Y'all doing the same thing, worshiping that same demon.
We like brother, sister. Pentecost is a high holy day. How can that be a religion, man?
So that's how that. Like I said, it's the same people, same thing. Ain't nothing new under the sun. We keep doing it. Go ahead.
165 BC. There was, however, a group of Jews resembling the Pharisees as far back as the Babylonian captivity.
It was look, resembling the Pharisees. This is not, like I said, it's nothing. Even way back in Babylon, still had these same things that were going on. It just didn't get to the point where it was like a concentrated area of our train of thought at that time. So as we got further on down, we got more and more worldly. So we started doing more and more worldly things, but it was also back then too. Go ahead.
This is out of the
Israel history.
Israel history book by Leon J. Woods.
Show the book on
By Leon J. Woods. It said, this is talking about the Pharisees. It said this accommodation was made possible by the Pharisaic doctrine of the oral law, what the New Testament refers to as their own tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what it's saying that the Pharisees had went in to start doing their own traditions.
Yeah. And they was taking our traditions, not according to the Bible, but according to what, because our forefathers, y'all got to understand, just because we did, our forefathers did that don't mean it was good. Hey, that was good. We wouldn't have never been in captivity. We'd be sitting right now in a castle somewhere, man, instead of where we at now. But so a lot of times they took traditions that wasn't good outside of Moses' laws. Go ahead. You got some more? Go ahead.
Like says, since the written law was fixed, nothing could be done to alter it.
Mm-hmm.
Some more specific laws that applied to the origin world of Moses in the early Israel seemed irrelevant in the cosmopolitan world of the intermistral. Say that. Testamental period. More importantly, many situations has arisen which there was non-specific Bible teaching.
And look, yeah, I'm glad he brought that out, because isn't that what we do today, right now to that day, when we come to we don't, that's irrelevant today. That was ancient, that was old. They were doing the same thing. That was back in the day. So now what they do now? Okay, homosexual is okay. That was a long time ago. You can do it now because society says it's all right. They were doing the same thing. The exact same, man. I'm telling my people, boy, you talking about, you can go home and look in the mirror. That's the same people that was back then in them days. Only thing, they just had some sandals and some dirt on their clothes.
And that's just like that dude said that they didn't even have cigarettes back then.
Yeah.
Like, dude, man, look
like
here.
tobacco just started growing.
Like they just started growing yesterday.
Got that new tobacco. But I mean, it's the same thing. They were doing the exact same thing. Go ahead. You got some more?
No,
go ahead over here.
The name Pharisee, which in its Semitic form means the separator.
Mm-hmm.
Separated.
And see, that's another thing. Bible tell us what? Come together, right? But what do we do? Just think about when you was growing up in your little neighborhood. Y'all had all kind of little shit. I don't deal with them niggas do this. I don't do that. Them sudden. What's up, homeboy? And you dabbing them and everything. Oh, soon he leave. And I know you women, boy, y'all got a whole lot. I was just looking like, ooh, they got some roots like a mug. Oh, girl, that's so cute. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy. We love to separate ourselves, but that wasn't something that wasn't a part of us. Y'all gotta understand. Every time we was in captivity, we was taking a part of them. And none of it was good, because all we had to do was stick to the plan the Most High gave us. But we just kept taking a little piece of them, a little piece of them, a little piece of them, and now look at us now. We can't even tell our people who they are.
That's right.
They'll cuss you out. They ain't no chosen people. You're like, God damn. I ain't the greatest. So,
How we get over to America? Nigga, I was born here.
I heard it was on boats. Well, golly. Now you don't even believe we came over here on a boat. We just fell out the sky. Look, it's raining niggas. Go ahead, man.
Separatists first appears during the reign of John Hyrcanus.
John Hyrcanus was the son of Simon of the Maccabean brothers. He was the last one to survive the Greek captivity because Maccabees they was fighting. So once he got control of it, that's how you got the Jewish people because he converted them. Like we say, either they keep our law, statutes, and commandments, or y'all die. So that's where you get Herod the Great. Them started to come after them, Antipater and all them.
Yeah, and another thing, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of times when we did adopt or when other people from other nations came in, where do you think they went? If you got different sets, and they came in, they didn't want to be at the bottom. Where they start at? Pharisees with the rich. Just like King Herod, when he came in, he was studying under the Jewish laws. He liked the Jewish law. So when he got converted over to a Jew, where do you think he wanted to be? I'm appointed by kings. I'm with the Pharisees. Go ahead.
135 BC. Generally, the term is in the plural. They were found everywhere in Palestine, not only in Jerusalem, and even wore a distinguishing garb so as to be easily recognized.
It has to be easily recognized. Boy, that is crazy. See, they had on different garments. You know what I'm saying? You think you thought you was cool. You got your little old garment on. They gonna come out and like we got this little gold on it. They might come out with a solid gold. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all better recognize. And that's how they was. They wanted to be distinguished from the other ones. They wanted to look better than you. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, oh, look at my shoes. So they gonna come out with, I got these Jordans number 3s. I got these Jordan number 182s.
Matter of fact, let's read it because I know you're gonna touch on this. I just want to pull the scripture real quick.
Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 5, to back up what the scriptures say. Because Christ was cutting them to shreds in the book of Matthew, is what Captain Maccabees is gonna touch on. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 5. But all their works they do to be seen of men, like how we just read. You know, they was doing it just to get vain glory. Look at me, see, I look like I'm keeping the laws, but they really ain't keeping the laws. Just like we tell brothers and sisters, just because you're wearing fringes don't mean a damn thing. You know, you can be living it on the inside as well as on the outside. It says, but all their works they do to be seen of men. They make broad the phylacteries. The phylacteries is going to the kung fu fringes.
Yeah, what they had, actually, it was what they had.
Tied around a.
No, it was a box they had, and in that box they would have it, and they would have a scripture, a little scripture in there, and they would put it on the Sabbath, and they tied around them. And what that did was the same thing fringes did. It was supposed to remind them to keep the commandments. So what it is, we don't wear those boxes. We was commanded to keep the fringes, but that's what they were doing. And sometimes what they would do, it used to be a little small box, you know. But then when they wanted to be seen, them mother would run around here with a shoebox on the side of, you know. They got a big old box out here. Look at mine. You know? Hey, I keep the commandments. That's what they were doing. And then going out, you know, you got that little bitty border blue. They were going out, half their shirt was blue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, look how blue my border is. You know, they were enlarging just to show that, look, I do everything.
I look like I'm.
Yeah, man, they were just
hypocrite. But the thing is, not to say that the brothers and sisters don't, because you know, brothers, we like to dress. We and the brothers and sisters can't dress. But the thing is, they had the mentality that they was wanting to be seen as being keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, which they wasn't doing.
And they were dressing to cover up. Yeah, they were dressing nice to cover up that they wasn't doing what the Bible said. They just wanted the people to think that they were doing it, and then run to the house and doing all kind of whatever. You know,
let me read that from the top again. The book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 5. But all their works they do to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries. and enlarge the borders of their garments. Just like Ox said, got the kung fu grip fringes on that thing. Look at me, man. I'm swanging and banging. You know, but on the inside, you wicked. You know, and that's what we tell brothers, be as righteous on the inside as well as on the outside. Go ahead.
Yeah, they running around with the chair, diamond in the top, diamond in the back, sun rooftop. They had them kind of chairs. And you riding around on the one old skateboard. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They had to come and look good, like just making themselves look a lot better. But go ahead out over there with the definition. I know I highlighted almost the whole thing.
Yeah, you want all that?
Yeah, knock yourself out.
They became a closely organized group, very loyal to the society and to each other, but separate from others.
But what?
But separate from others, even their own people.
Even their own people.
They pledged themselves to obey all facets of the traditions to the minutest detail and were sticklers for ceremonial.
Hold up, man. We got
I was just got to read it again.
we got to touch on that because they was supposed to be the leaders, but then, like I said, they separated themselves from even their own people. Even when you get up in a higher position, guess what? You don't separate yourself from your brothers and sisters like you just on some pedestal where you can't say shalom to brothers and sisters that's out in the congregation, man. Brothers got to shake that prideful spirit. Sisters got to shake that thing, man. We are all one family, man. Go ahead.
Even other groups in Israel do that. They separate themselves from their own people. They don't shalom their brothers and sisters when they see them. And that's the same thing it's going into.
And it's some camps like that. Where the officers can't sit with the captains. Yeah. Captains can't go over there and deal with this. Man, I wouldn't care if you just came in that door yesterday. What's happening? I'll sit there and talk to you. That's how we're supposed to be.
And Christ didn't do that. So how we gonna
exactly. And he the king.
That's right.
Well, go back. I want you to go back just a few words and read that one little.
They pledged themselves to obey all facets of the tradition.
See, they pledged themselves to obey all facets of the traditions, not of the law. And that's what we were supposed to be doing. So they was like, well, we're gonna do these traditions. And if you read through these scriptures, that's what they was always coming out with. That's when Yahweh was tearing their butt up, man. What? Man, that ain't in those scriptures. They were doing it so long that even when he was bringing those when he was cutting them up, some of them didn't even know they were what you talking about. Because they was in a tradition so long that they thought it was right. Go ahead.
And were sticklers ceremonial purity. They even vowed to pay tithes of everything they possessed in addition to the temple tax.
See, they vowed to pay tithes of everything they possessed. Don't mean that they did it, but one thing they did, boy, when that tithe and play came out, that's like a brother. If he let's say he just making minimum wage, and he go to pay his little 10% of what he had, his increase. And he gives his 10%, and it only be what is that? Just $7 or $8. And then here he come, he'll pull out the 100 and pop it, set it in the plate so everybody can see that I put 100. But brother, you made $2 million last year. You know what I'm saying? That's why when the lady put the 2 cents, I said she put more in there than you. He looking like, what you mean? Just see what I just put a whole 100. Better yet, we put another one in there. How about that? That ain't nothing. You just made $2 million.
And then guess what? He catch you outside. Hey brother, let me get a little bit of that change back. I'm just trying to get 5, man.
That's what he do. He catch the Ursula. Hey, I mean,
matter of fact, let's read that real quick. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 1. Because we got to be worried, brothers and sisters. When you serving the Most High God, you don't do it to be seen of men. You do it to be seen of the Most High God, man. You know, the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 1. Take heed that you do not your alms before men to your Father which is in heaven. Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee.
Now, here you go.
Literally.
Oh.
Dollars over here, dollars over here.
Bring the plate. Fanning all this deal.
It says, therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men.
And man, and what, especially around this time, I was sitting there watching the news, and I'm thinking, why is every time somebody just give us some toys, why everybody got? Why how the news get there? If they didn't call them, you know, you at this man's house, how ain't they just? You had to call them. Hey, I'm having a toy drive for these kids. They want to be seen. Everybody want to be seen. I'm doing good on this day. They're slapping them on January the 1st. I mean, them same people, they got to be seen. Hey, I'm doing good. You see what I'm doing? I'm giving. They want to be seen. The man, you ain't got to do this. This ain't, man, I can care less. Shalom, I can care less if you see what I'm doing or not see what I'm doing. But I know who do see whatever you're doing and your intentions for doing it. And that's the Most High. And this eye, like, which one of y'all say that all the time? Eyes are, because y'all like reading that scripture.
Now he's talking about his eyes are 10 times
brighter than the sun. So you thinking, oh, well, they see me. Well, the Most High see that, and he see it when you go home too.
Matter of fact, keep reading on verse
No. Stay there. Go ahead, read that. No. Yeah.
Verse 3. But when thou doest alms, like we say, alms and tithing are two different things. Alms is for the people. Tithing was for the Levitical priests, you know, because they didn't have an inheritance of land. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. It says that thine alms may be in secret. So when you giving, like Oxfam is bringing out, don't put on the show, oh, look, I'm giving this. This is what I bring to the table. No, you do that in secret, you know, because you don't want to let some less fortunate brothers and sisters feel some type of way. The thing is, the ultimate law is loving your brother as you would love yourself. So we all want to always look out for each other.
And that's another thing too. It said, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Because sometimes I know some of y'all in marriages, and you know, you put your arms in there. You ain't got to tell your husband what you done put in there. Unless you done put the rent in there. But because sometimes your significant other is going to be sitting up there, man, what you put that in there for? I wanted to go skiing, or I wanted to go do this, you know, those things like that. So a lot of times you just do it as the Most High put it on your heart. Because
verse 4,
right,
that thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. So that's very important. When you're doing these things in the secret, guess what? The Most High will bless you openly, man. So that's the blessings that we're trying to get. Go ahead.
And then you might have one spouse that might be stingy and the other not. So a lot of times one could be putting it in there for the blessings of her husband, or the husband putting it in there for the blessing of his wife. So that's why he said, just do that thing in secret.
I know you're going to Matthew.
Yeah, we're going to.
Right quick.
Which way? Where you going?
23 and 23.
No, don't go there.
Yeah. Right there.
Go ahead.
They even vowed to pay tithes of everything they possessed in addition to the temple tax. They would not touch the carcass of a dead animal or those who had come into contact with such things. They had no association with people.
And I want y'all to remember that, because when we go into one of them parables that Yahweh was saying, is going to talk about that too, how I don't touch no carcass. And all these different things that they say they don't do, because I don't do that part. And that's what we got a lot of Israelites that I do that part, but I don't do that part. You know, and in fact, I was talking to somebody last night, boy, they just, only the parts that's good for them, that's one they like. I do those. Oh, that? No, we got to talk about that one. I didn't know you had to talk about it. No, I don't even want to talk about it. I ain't going to do that part.
See, because the main thing, people want to make the Bible to fit their lifestyle. You can't do that. You got to make your lifestyle to fit the Bible.
Exactly.
Right. You got to always remember that thing, man.
Exactly. Go ahead, Al.
They had no association with people who had been defiled through sickness. In truth, they made life difficult for themselves and bitter for others. And
they said they didn't even want to be messing with the sick. How you gonna heal the sick if you don't go and touch them? How you gonna heal them? Ain't that their job? To heal the sick? So how you gonna go in there? I ain't gonna mess with them, man. I might get this.
The duties.
Yeah. Oh, get them off me. That's what they was, some little children. That's exactly how they was acting too. And that's exactly how, man, think about it. I know some people my age.
Look, sound, talk like.
They look like they 22 too, you know. but they about 4 years old when the way they act. The same way these Pharisees are. Brilliant, stand upright. When you look at them, look like distinguished men. You be like, dang. You know what I'm saying? But garbage, straight garbage. You can go right now into your house, go in your kitchen, and dump that bag open, and that's what they are.
Brother Abayi, who are the modern day scribes and Pharisees today?
I would say the pastors and the black elite.
That's right. That's exactly right. The pastors are, because they may say and read the Bible, but when you see their works, they're not doing nothing that's in the Bible.
Yeah, and they going off what? Traditions.
Exactly.
Christmas, Thanksgiving,
Sunday worship.
Sunday work, all that.
You won't find to go to church on Sunday in the Bible. The seventh day of the week is Saturday. So that's the modern day scribes and Pharisees today.
And just go ask any one of them, are y'all gonna do the Passover? They ain't gonna know what you, they probably won't even know.
What's that?
I heard of it. But they can't tell you no date, no none of that. But you say Christmas, December 25th, yeah.
His birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was back then. The Passover back then. That was back then.
And then they be Halloweening it. All that stuff, man. But when you won't do nothing, this Bible tell you to traditions in. Go ahead.
In truth, they made life difficult for themselves and bitter for others.
And they make it bitter for others, putting burdens on other people and not on themselves. They got a problem, they ain't gonna take care of it. They give it to you to take care of it. And if you don't get it done right, then God gonna curse you. Ain't that what Pastor scare everybody with on Sunday? You don't put that money in that plate, government gonna come and take all you got.
I know what it is. Let's go to Malachi 3 and 8.
Yeah,
Will a man rob God?
Yeah. I love that breakdown, boy. Go ahead,
They despised those whom they did not consider their equals, and were haughty and arrogant because they believed they were the only interpreters of God and his word.
Brother, you think that would be righteous? We supposed to be all the same and they don't consider themselves equal as others? Is that righteous? And these brothers pretending, but they claim to be righteous people. These are our people and the ones that they also get involved with other nations. They love other, better yet, let's get it. Give me First Maccabees 1 and 11. Because remember, these things, these groups came about after what? During the what period? Anybody? Say it. Maccabee period, the Maccabee period. So what happened at that time? Let's read that.
And let's not leave out that some of these Israelite brothers is scribes.
Oh yeah, we got to.
Oh, brother, that's exactly what I'm trying. We're gonna get to that. Yeah, so we're gonna get to that. Go ahead, because here it is right here. While you sitting, this is it right here. Go ahead.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days, but they're out of Israel, wicked men.
What?
Wicked men.
Wicked men. It was wicked men that came out of Israel. What they do?
Who persuaded many,
Uh-huh.
saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
And at this time, you got to understand, during the Roman captivity, they had covenants with the heathen. Why? Because they ran it. So, man, I'm not going to go, man, if I go back up, I'm just going to be at the bottom down there. No, I need to go make a covenant with these people who running. I got to go be cool with them. Because the Caesars finna set other Romans over us. So why we distinguish ourselves from them? So they can be sitting up in the cities and they can be at the top of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? And that's what our people was doing. Go ahead.
For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Because see, they feel like the same way we do right today. If we ain't got the white man next to us, we be like, man, shoot.
What about Esau?
We ain't gonna get nothing. Cause we so dependent on them. We dependent. A lot of black people thinking right now that if the white man is gone, the miracle, man, what we gonna do? I don't know what you mean. We the one built everything anyway.
That's
We
right.
don't keep it. That's what we don't do. We
This is
don't
an
keep it.
example of it. When you tell a black person they can't do Christmas, they're like, what I'm gonna do? They're like they left with nothing if you take the white man's stuff away from them. They feel like they left with nothing. And the whole time we got our own stuff right here that we need to be doing.
And the thing is, just like even we can prove that the same scribes and Pharisees was the same children of the wilderness. Just like them when the Most High took them up out of Egypt, they said, "Man, you brought us way out here so you could kill us."
No doubt.
Them the same ones. Them the same ones that let you know to identify us even to this day. We were the children of the wilderness doing the same dang on thing, man.
Sis, you started your magazine, sis. Was it a lot of our people coming against you when you tried to start that? The majority of them are. And what's so bad about it? We was the first people bringing it out. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So
The Most High picking the labor.
picking the what?
The labor.
Exactly.
Oh, praise.
So, but they don't even realize it was our people who started those things in the first place. If we get off our butt and get to using our mind again and quit letting somebody else use our mind, we'll realize society can't exist without us.
That's right.
Yeah.
We created everything around it. Man, I was looking at every time I keep going to these inventions. Man, if y'all gotta really, really, really go and look at these inventions that y'all got every day. Think a white man did all this stuff. No. Some of these might be your uncles and your dad, great grandfather that did this. I mean, look, everything in here. Everything. Except for my gun, I got now. But everything, man, you realize when you really go through it, you're gonna realize, man, this would nothing, I promise you, would nothing you have that you think is comfortable in America would not exist if it wasn't for your forefathers. I don't care, despite the lies that you heard, everything has been invented or come from us. And then even when it's under the white man's name, it was stolen. So quit looking at yourself like y'all can't do nothing. Get off y'all butt, man. Y'all got the mind to do anything there is in this world that's possible. Anything great.
That's right.
Y'all can do evil too, but we ain't gonna be doing that. But your mind is great. You're the chosen people of the Most High, the greatest on the planet. And we depending on everybody else but us.
But the thing is, a lot of us done got our mindset set away from our wisdom.
Mm.
Where did our wisdom come from? Can anybody tell me where the wisdom come from? What scripture can you pull to do that? That really ain't gonna go. Oh, that's good. That's good, but that ain't what I want. What's it? No, ain't what I want. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go here right quick. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6, right quick. The Bible can explain our wisdom. Like I'm going into, man, we can do anything we want to do as long as we follow this Bible. The Most High got it.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to be doing what the Lord say to do, though.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should do so in the land, whether you go to possess it.
Read on now.
Keep therefore and do them.
He's talking about the commandments. Keep therefore and do the commandments. Read. For
this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
This is our wisdom and understanding in sight of all the nations. If we follow our God, if we follow his law, statutes, and commandments, the wisdom that we have and display in front of the nations, they be like, dang, these people really, really got the understanding, man, of what we supposed to do as a nation.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Say, surely this great nation of Israel is a wise and understanding people, man, because we follow our God, and our God is for us, and he's going to fight for us, but we got to follow him.
And despite how much they hate us also, despite how much they look down upon us, if we go back to our God's laws, what they're going to have to say, man, that's a great nation of people.
Hey, let me give you an example of that. Captain Jeroboam was on the phone with him. Ran into this African. I knew he was something different. And I asked him, he didn't want to tell me what he was. And me and Jeroboam at the same time, he ended up telling me. And we ended up at the same time saying, you're an Egyptian. But he didn't want to tell me because he thought I didn't know nothing. Because they look at us like we don't know nothing. But because of the scriptures, I knew this dude was an Egyptian. And then I started railing off stuff from the scriptures about the Egyptians. And he knew it too. And he knew he was an Israelite.
He agreed to everything.
He agreed to everything. But that's because of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures. He thought I was just a regular old nigga. He told me, he said, if I told you, you wouldn't know. Oh, if you told me where you was from, I wouldn't know, because the average Negro would not know. But I know you. Y'all had us in slavery. And the Bible said that y'all were going to get ran out of Egypt and put in slavery. He was like, yeah, that was a long time ago. I said, the Bible, y'all had us in slavery and we the Israelites. And you know it, don't you? Yeah. That's because the Bible, man. Putting us up here, he thought I was a regular nigga. No, I'm an Israelite, brother, and that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Most High promised to us is true in the sight of the other nations. And when I got through dealing with him, the way he was looking at me, like he couldn't believe. All praise to the Most High God.
All praise. Hey, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go over to page 515, and we're gonna get a little bit of these Sadducees.
You don't want no more on this, huh?
What's that? Yeah, bring that. Yeah. We're gonna need some more. It's on the same page, right? All you gotta do is go to the next one. Start reading it anyway. That way you can break me off the information as you go.
Yeah, some more on that Pharisees.
Yeah, I know, but
I know, I got you.
yeah, because I'll be in. We have to have part 3. But go ahead and give me some of that.
Sect in the time of Christ, beliefs, acceptance only of the law, and rejection of oral tradition.
They rejected oral tradition, and they the ones. Even the Pharisees was believing in the Yahweh time, and not. Let me get this right now. Look, not all Pharisees was bad people now. Because Paul was a Pharisee, Nicodemus was a Pharisee. What is that? Go to Gamaliel. Yeah, he was a Pharisee. So not all of them was slaves. So some of them was always had a mind to try to learn something. Some of them was stuck in their ways, just like we got today. A lot of our people just stuck in their ways. Well, you go back to grandma, boy, you can't tell grandma nothing. Nothing. Grandma says, I go to church every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Brother Shaya, what is the difference between the Sadducees and the Pharisees?
The Pharisees was caught up in the traditions. The Sadducees were more about the traditions, and the Pharisees was more about the law.
To an extent, but anybody got a precept? You got a precept, young? Anybody got a precept? Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 23 and verse 8. This was the difference between the Pharisees and the Sadducees. The Sadducees and the Pharisees.
Yeah, Acts 23 and 8.
Book of Acts, chapter 23, verse 8. For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection.
So the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection.
Jump up to verse 7.
Jump up to verse 7. All right.
Verse 7. And when he had so said, there arose a dissension between the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
So they had disagreements between the two sects. Read on up.
And the multitude was divided.
And they was divided because Paul was coming to give them the true understanding about everything. Read on up.
For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection.
So they didn't believe in the resurrection of Christ, like we say, that the Most High had the ability to raise people from the dead. Read on up.
Neither angel nor spirit.
So they didn't believe in the angels or the spirit. They didn't believe in none of these things. Read on up.
But the Pharisees confessed both.
But the Pharisees believed in those things. So that was the difference between those two sects of like we say, religious back then. Go ahead.
We got them right now. Old Testament only, New Testament only. I don't believe in the apocryphal part. You got them all over the place. I'm talking about just in Israel. Yeah. We ain't finna go out. Shoot, we leave out this door, but we separated all over the place. Watch tomorrow, though. Tomorrow, the most separated day in the world. Sunday. You got the black church, the white church, the Chinese church, the what you call them other ones? Japanese. Everybody got their own little church, believing in all that. We all over the place. All over the place. But go ahead, what's your definition?
Denial of resurrection, immortality of the soul, spirit world. Mark 12 and 18, Luke 20 and 27, Acts 23 and 8. Support.
Yeah, they was about, my bad. They was about they don't believe in the spirit, but we got some of them too. We got a lot of them that they just, it's all about what I do. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with God, what's going on. It just got something to what it's gonna work out however I do it. You know, the Most High control it all. They don't understand that. The spirit is roaming around. The spirit is protecting us. They don't understand that part. They don't believe in that part. They just believe in, oh, I can make things change. They believe in themselves, put it that way.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. Go ahead.
Supported Maccabees, a relatively small group, but generally held the high priesthood. But generally held the high priesthood. Denounced by John the Baptist, Matthew 3, 7, and 8. And Jesus opposed Christ.
Okay, let's go down to the apostle. And the apostles.
And apostolic. And the
apostles. They all of them went against them. They didn't like the apostles. They didn't like Yahweh. Couldn't stand John the Baptist. John the Baptist had something to say about them. Yahweh had something to say about them and the apostles. Because they was like, man, you couldn't even come to them talking about spirit. They don't believe none of that. I made that happen. That's how they were. And now we're just getting a little difference of who they are as far as who the Pharisees were and who the Sadducees were. So now when y'all reading in that, you know exactly what they was talking about and where they stood and what they was, their whole mindset. Now let's get to the scribes right there, page 528. I'm just giving y'all a background, some understanding before we just, well, they put the scriptures anyway, so you get the scripture stuff. We're going to get into them too. But go ahead. This is the definition of the scribes.
Scribes definition, class of learned men who made the systematic study of the law and its exposition, their profession, our occupation. They made
read that again.
Made study of the law and its exposition, their professional occupation, also called lawyers, rabbis, doctors of the law, rabbis. They devoted themselves to the preservation, transcription, and exposition of the law to safeguard the sanctity of the law.
Go ahead.
They gradually developed an extensive and complicated system of teaching,
known
as the tradition of the elders.
And they went after tradition. They made it, and that's why you got complications now. Some simple scriptures, you'd be like, man, that's great. Well, see, if you go into the agnostic of the then they get to this, you be like, man, they just read what they just say right there. They gotta go all over here. By the time they're through, you confused, they confused, and I mean, just got everything messed up. You're like, man, wait a minute. I just read, I should not kill. But see, you know, they got all kind of ways, you know, just so they can say that's the only reason I killed him. But yeah, that's something.
And that's what they do is what the white man do. And make a law, and then they want to have all these different private interpretations about it. You made the law. We should go by what it say. Now you got lawyers debating what it really means. And unless you got a status quo to go by, they just throw it up in the air. And then they come up, like with this country, if the Republicans in charge of the Supreme Court, it's going to sway that way. But if the Democrats in charge, then it's going to sway that way. That's why they'll take the same law, and every so many years, they'll sway it this way, and then they turn around and sway it this way. Because that's what the Edomites do. But like the scriptures say for us, in 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 20, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures is of any private interpretation. So why are we over here doctors of the law debating the law when the law say what it say?
so you can try to find a way to get out of it.
And that's done on purpose. That's not no accident. That United States law is not an accident to be done like that. That's so when they go into court, if you go to court, they got a way to sway to put your butt in the penitentiary. When they gotta go to court, they can use those same laws and sway they got some community service for murder.
That's right.
And you got a gram of cocaine and gone to prison for the rest of your life. They got, because they know how it's complicated. Same way they were doing. The scribes were making it complicated. So you won't understand, and you got to come to me to get an understanding. Depending on how much money you put in my pocket,
That's right.
that's how I can make it. You know, if you put enough money in my pocket, I can make these scriptures fit for you. If you don't, I can make these scriptures go against you.
Right.
And we got that right now today. Because we got pastors do that all day long. In fact, the lady who won the lottery had talked, when she had said she was going to put this amount in there. She didn't even know she was going to win. She was just saying it. But then he done took her to court. How you going to take me to court for something I won? Yeah, took her to court suing the lady. Because she didn't put as much. Not only that, she put in the office, she put a lot, but not the amount that he wanted.
Yeah, and you know, it even goes into your when you go into funerals. Guess what? When you got to pay people to, I'm gonna pay this pastor for my funeral. Guess what? You paid that pastor to tell your people that your son is going to heaven, and he just robbed everybody in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not going there. That sucker was supposed to die, man.
Yeah, that's what they need to stop doing. Stop paying them pastors. He'll start telling the truth then. Junebug ain't no damn good. You know, he'll start telling the boy, he ain't never been good. As long as you can't keep putting that money in their pocket. And you know, Junebug ain't no good for real, boy. Yeah, you know, this is a celebration day. Day of celebration.
And that's how it's supposed to go. Because you bring one of us up there on the funeral, we finna bring out these scriptures on you, and it ain't finna be pretty. Because last funeral I went to, the pastor was lying so hard, I said he finna get everybody burned.
Oh my goodness. Every funeral I've been to with a lot.
But we ain't gonna take no money, and we gonna go do it, and we finna tell you the truth. And that's how it's supposed to be.
And just like I was going there too, not every scribe was bad. Because we got Baruch. Baruch in the book of Baruch was Jeremiah's scribe.
Yeah.
Right. So he wrote stuff down that Jeremiah prophesied. That's in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 45 and verse 1.
And yeah, the ones we talking about and we bringing out, yeah, go ahead and get that. But the ones we talking about and bringing out, we talking about the wicked ones now. We did, like I said, in all these groups, we had some people that was, like when you go to any group, anything, you always got that little remnant over there that they just don't quite believe what the heck these bad cats are doing. You know what I'm saying? There's always that like that. And we always had them. So don't think that every scribe was just no good and every Pharisees and Sadducees was no good. Because some of them had good qualities and good traits. And some of them, like they said, they were separated. They were separated in those groups also. So when you got into the Pharisees, they wasn't all together. They were still separated also. That's why they failed. Because when they don't stand together, it's gonna fall. The house divided amongst themselves, self-fall. And that's what they did too. Because these sects fall, but the children of these people are here today. Y'all done met a lot of them.
Read that right quick out.
Jeremiah 45 and 1. The word that Jeremiah the prophet spake unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, when he had written these words in a book at the mouth of Jeremiah, in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Hosea, king of Judah, saying.
So this is letting you know, read on up.
Saying, thus said the Lord of God, thus said the Lord, the God of Israel, unto thee, O Baruch. Thou didst say, woe is me now, for the Lord hath added grief to my sorrow. I fainted in my sight, and I find no rest.
So this letting you know that Baruch and Jeremiah were contemporaries of each other. They walked in the same captivity. Joseph, what captivity was Jeremiah in? Do you know?
Good answer.
Brother Brandon, what captivity? You know? I don't know. Brother Stephen, what captivity was Jeremiah in? At the front of y'all books, what you got a little bit knife? Shia, what you got?
I was gonna say,
He was in the Babylonian captivity. So in the front of y'all chapters, write that down.
Matter of fact, go to Baruch chapter 1 and 1. It'll tell you.
A lot of these prophets was in that Babylonian captivity. And a lot of them came out in there, quite a few of them in that Persian captivity.
Read it up.
Book of Baruch, chapter 1, verse 1. And these are the words of the book which Baruch, the son of Neriah, the son of Messiah, the son of Sadducees, the son of Asadiah, the son of Chelsea, wrote in Babylon.
In Babylon. He was in the Babylonian captivity.
So y'all can precept that with that. A lot of times we go over these things so y'all can paint a timeline image in your mind when you read it. To kind of, you get a better understanding when you read it and know the timeline.
Yep. Go back to the definition and start right there where it says, right out there in parentheses, the Matthew, all higher instruction.
All higher instruction was in their hand. They often served as judges in Jewish courts and were an important element in the membership of the Sanhedrin. They were laymen, not priests. Most of them followed some trades, as they were not expected to receive money for their teaching. They fiercely opposed Jesus and were denounced by him. They played an important part in his death and also persecuted the early church.
And a lot of times they were doing this because of the fact that they was always about the old traditions. And when Yahweh stepped on the scene, a lot of people, they were like, man, hold on. See, when they was talking about king was coming, they were looking for somebody to be coming out there with a crown already born. I guess he's supposed to be born, but they tore his mama up, born with a crown on his head. Coming out, you know, that's what they wanted. They wanted him to just come out already walking. He ain't crawled or nothing. He just walked out. What's that? You know, and that's what they were looking at. They wanted to have the robe already on. No, But he came out as a lowly man. You know, they didn't. A lot of our people didn't want to believe that's our king. So right now, I'll be like, I'm glad our king look just like us. You know what I'm saying? So now I know he down to earth. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, man, imagine if Yahweh came with his nose up. Yahweh, are you gonna save us? Rolling his eyes at you, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, man, I don't like him. Let me go join the scribes.
And it was made to be that way because we knew that they was disobedient. Let me get the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 7. It was made to be that way, like it's made to be that way today. Everybody is not meant to understand the Bible. The Bible is a mystery book, and you must be keeping God's commandments to even understand.
That's right.
There is no other way. No, I can read the Bible in a no, sister, you cannot. No, brother, you cannot. We got to go by the laws and instructions that the Most High God gives us. Read that out.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 7. Unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious.
So guess what? He is precious to us because we believe that our Lord and Savior Yahweh is coming to save us. Read on up.
But unto them which be disobedient.
But unto them which be disobedient, don't want to do what this Bible say, that don't want to keep the commandments. Read on up.
The stone which the builders disallowed.
The stone which the builders disallowed. Who is that stone? That stone is Christ. Because that's what we build our foundation on. Read on up.
The same is made the head of the corner.
And he is the head of the corner. Christ is the head of the Israelites. Read on up.
And a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word.
That's why you see some brothers and sisters, they stumble at the word because they're not keeping the commandments. It was made to be that way. That's how the Most High God has it, man, when you being disobedient. Read on up.
Being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed.
So you have brothers and sisters that are appointed to stumble at this word because the Most High God knows their spirit, man. He know that they really don't want to keep the commandments. So guess what? He put a stumbling spirit on them.
Remember, even Yahweh said, I speak to y'all in parables because It's for y'all to understand. I don't speak it so they can understand it. I'm trying to make it where they don't know what I'm talking about.
And the thing is, like, let's touch on the thing that I was talking about when Christ came out. They was like, dang, he can't be the king. Oh man, this is not him. Let's go to Isaiah 53 right quick, verse 1. See, because the thing is, they were looking for some they were looking for some Fabio or I don't know who they trying to look for, Boris Kojo or something. Start read it up.
Isaiah 53:1. Who has believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?
It said, whom to the arm of the Lord has been revealed. Read up.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant.
He gonna grow up as a tender plant. Read.
And as a root out of a dry ground.
As a root out of dry ground. Like, man, what good can come out of Nazareth?
And Nazareth was the hood, man. That was the bottom of the hood. They couldn't even afford guns. They just threw rocks at you. Yeah. I mean, it was that kind of hood. And that's what you like, what's good gonna come out of Nazareth?
You see, your house was a diamond in the rough, man. Read.
He had no form nor comeliness.
He had no comeliness. So guess what? When you see him, guess what? You like, you better respect that nigga.
I know you women be wanting to look for that what you call them them handsome all that talk. No. So that king is in that one that dude that hump on his back over there, you know. I'm telling you, with that toenail going over this way. You know, that's the man. You know, that one over there sitting all tall and all handsome. Yeah, so he got a boyfriend in the back. Go ahead.
Read on. There is no beauty that we should desire him.
Oh boy, he ain't, man. Y'all quit looking for pretty Negro.
It's gonna be a pretty.
He ain't gotta be pretty handsome. Pretty Ricky. I'm looking for pretty Ricky. I don't want to. And all kind of great husbands that came to. Hey, how you doing? You got a mold all up on there. That was a king right there.
That's the king, man. That's the king. And you guess what? And when he step on the scene, every knee will bow. Yeah. And every tongue will confess when he hit the scene. Read verse 3 up.
And Pretty Ricky running around here calling Uber. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, girl. I'll get you there.
Verse 3 up.
Verse 3. He is despised and rejected of me, a man of sorrow and acquainted with grief. And we hid, and we hid as it were our faces from him.
Cause they like, I don't even want to look at him. I don't look at him.
He ugly. So Yahweh sound like, okay, all right.
Okay. I'll be back.
I'm only the son of God, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead,
He was despised and we esteemed him not.
And we esteemed him not. That's going to try to show you that guess what? When they seen him, they didn't see a king in him. They didn't see no good in him. They didn't see the glory of God in him. They didn't see that he was the savior of Israel. They didn't see none of that in him. As the children of Israel, we despised him. A lot of us did despise him, man. A lot of our people.
He didn't come down looking like. He didn't come down looking like the king that they thought.
And it's the same thing with us. We ain't the prophets that they thought they were gonna be. We just them niggas, them group of niggas. And we can get that out of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 25. The way the Most High work and how we think it's supposed to work is two different things. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 25. Because the foolishness.
Let me read it for you. I don't know. You break it down.
No, I got it.
Go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 25. Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men.
The foolishness of God is wiser than men. No matter who you think you are on this planet, we would never touch the foolishness of the Most High God. Read on.
And the weakness of God is stronger than men.
And if he even got a weakness, it's still stronger than any man on this planet. Read on.
For ye see your calling, brethren.
See, when I saw this scripture right here, I knew he was talking to us. We see our calling, brother, because we standing up for the Most High God.
That's right.
Read on.
How that not many wise men after the flesh.
See, if T.D. Jakes was called to do this, it'd be too easy for everybody to follow. The Most High ain't making it that easy for us. We got to earn this thing back. And when we earn it back, we're gonna appreciate it way more. Read on.
Not many mighty.
Not many mighty. He could have called LeBron James to stand up, and everybody would have, millions of people would have followed LeBron James to go do this work. But that ain't how the Most High set it up.
They following them now.
Yeah.
Not many noble are called.
Not many noble. All these rich and famous and celebrities and things of that nature, it'll be too easy. You look at their Instagram, they got millions of followers. And if the people said, well, come do the Lord's work, it'll be a lot of people that follow them and do it. But it ain't that easy. Read on.
Verse 27. But God had chosen the foolish things of the world.
What did he choose out?
Chosen the foolish things of the world.
To do what?
To confound the wise.
It's like when Christ stepped on the scene. They looking for whatever they looking for. And the Most High sent Christ looking how he looked. He could have sent them any kind of way. But he knew that they were going to act like this. The foolish things of the world to confound the wise. We the foolish things of the world.
Right.
That's why when they see us out there, they first thought is this just a bunch of niggas.
That's right.
But somebody with a spiritual eye can see, hold up, brothers is standing up and they got Bibles. There's something special going on right here.
And then when they look at us out on the corner, they be like, man, not this drug dealing, smoking, this weed smoking, whoremongering. And they look at all of us what the old man used to be. But they're not looking at the new wine bottle that the Lord done poured his wine in.
Right. Spoken spirit. Brother, I used to be a whoremonger. Brother, you can shake that and marry your wife. Raise your children, man. Do what's according to the Bible. You can do these things, man. It's not hard once you get with a group of brothers and sisters.
And see, that's what they don't understand. We had to go through these things so that we can go back to the poor and the needy and relate to them. How can we be TD Jake sitting high on the hill, high on the hall, and then come down to brothers that's selling dope at the West End station? They gonna be like, man, you better get out of my face. And we gonna be like, we ain't going nowhere.
And then guess what? And we say this every weekend. The Lord took niggas and made them show them that you Israelite and go get some more niggas and show them that they Israelites. Go get some more niggas to show them that they Israelites, man. Because niggas ain't making it to the kingdom. Israelites making it to the kingdom, man.
That's right.
That's what the Lord did.
And how could he send Christ high on the hall to go down from Nazareth to talk to the people that's just like us? They wouldn't go hear it. But that's why he do these things. Finish it out.
And hold on. And the enemy also, he used those same, he used the tricks. He used stars and celebrities to get you like Kanye West right now. That's why they got him now, because they see the Israelites doing this work. They got to come up with something. Kanye, you got to go be a preacher. You got to keep these people in Christianity. The Israelites on all the corners every time they see us. Y'all don't think they see us, man. Y'all don't think they notice when you going in there. They ain't saying nothing, but they see them friends. Hold on, something going on. Yeah. I seen a brother over there with them things on. Seen somebody over there with them things on. I remember somebody was telling me about these black Israelites, because that's what they call us, black Israelites, but we the Israelites. But he used those tactics to go out and put stars in places to get the following to get away from what the truth is. No, So he doing the same. He just trying to do. I wish I use a humble man. They use what everybody's looking at. What's glory to everybody.
And look at this. That's why Cardi B can't really rap. Somebody writing a rap, but why she out there? So our daughters can want to be strippers. Right. You took a stripper and made her into a rap star. So then you got a hot girl summer. Now all the little sisters want to be hot girls. All the brothers want to be drug dealers and gang bangers, because that's why they paying these dudes. They don't even make good music, but they paying them millions upon millions of dollars because they know they can influence our children. Then have them doing the basketball players. They throwing up 666 when they shoot a three. I could have swore when you shot it, you put a three, it's like this. But now they doing it another way. And then what the young brothers gonna do when they shoot a three? They gonna be all this. That's 666. They put it on their eye and all they got them doing the gestures of this satanic stuff. They know exactly what they doing. So therefore we got the Lord working the opposite way. And that's why we here. Go ahead up. Finish it up.
But God had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And God had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
Now you know this is talking about us. We the weakest race on the planet. We have no financial might. We have no homeland, no money, no military, no nothing. But he found the mighty in this great country, sit up here like, oh, we thought we had them under subjection. We thought we had Lil Wayne out here, Cardi B. What is all this going on? They can't do nothing with this.
And then and you look at the rappers, how they making all them blonde their hair, and guess what? Wear skinny jeans. They looking like some little white girls now. That's what they looking like, man. I looked at it the other day. I said, dang, Lil Wayne got that blonde hair, Future, all them boys are like, with them skinny jeans look just like little white girls.
That's crazy.
They eat feminine dyes our men, and they make it our women tough, because our women tough as hell. They be even our women in the truth. They walk up to their husband like they the toughest thing in the world. And guess what? You can't do that. You going off if you do that.
That's right.
If a man can't control his household and a woman won't let him control it, you going off, women. Simple as that. And if a man can't stand up and be a man and girt your loins up, you going off, man.
Right.
Something ain't nowhere else around it, man.
Stand up and be a man. Woman, stand up and be a woman that the Most High God told us to be, man.
Right.
If we do that, we would all stay in order. Everything, it would be happy at the house. But now the so-called white man done told us, when the woman happy, all is happy. Well, what about the king? If he what good is that? How about they both be happy? That's how it's supposed to be. But now we done got beside ourselves and listen to everything every one of you. I ain't even just saying the Edomite, because we'll go over there and do some more stuff that the Africans doing too. They ain't doing nothing good neither. So putting bone. I seen a brother got doing earlobe this big. The heck you doing, man? That is not us. Well, you might well go on and do all that. Eat at the back of a cow too. Do all that stuff they do. Let's go to in fact, give me Jude chapter 1 and 4. Y'all gotta understand, sometimes I gotta calm me down, man, because I get fired up.
We got y'all.
We know why.
Yeah. You got it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 4. For there are certain men crept in unaware.
Hold on. I ain't beat that up right quick. It's some men that's crept in unaware in Israel. So don't think that just because everybody, hey, shalom, I'll praise to the Most High. That don't mean everybody running around here doing these things don't give a dang about it. Some of them got agendas. Y'all just got to be, hey, that's why he said, get a spirit of discernment where you can discern these things. And then before you know somebody, don't just go jump in bed with somebody as soon as you meet them. No, find out about them. Because you find out later on, you be like, ooh, she look good. Yeah, but now you got AIDS. Sound serious, Oh, a lot of hearts just stop for a second, Bro, like, ooh. I'm going to get checked to some class over here. Go ahead.
Well, there are certain men crept in unawares who were before of old ordained to this condemnation.
It's something. They was ordained to do it. The Most High allowed this to happen. Because he gonna weed us out. I can promise you that. We gonna get tried through this fire. So all of them think you just finna make it to the kingdom. You ain't been tried nothing. You ain't went through nothing. Ain't nothing bad ever happened to you. I'm doing great all the time.
And that's what this world has taught our people to be. If you just believe on God and you ain't got to do nothing else, that's all I got to do just to make it to the kingdom. I'm good. I can do that. I can believe I got it.
I got it. I got this down.
You can't even do that to get into this country. You gotta fill out some paperwork or something.
And you got 8 months to study, and they gotta go through the history and all that old type. I asked that dude, I said, what y'all do to get your little green card or whatnot? He was like, man, the mother went to college down there, man. I was like, y'all go out here. You gotta learn the history. I said, yeah, I know why they make you learn that. They want to make sure everybody's programmed with the same program. But then it's that hard to even just come to this country. But all we got to believe we in heaven. The kingdom of God, I believe.
And guess what? The leaders of camps, guess what? They not above that either, man. Brothers gonna be held to the fire even more so than regular brothers and sisters, man. So you're not outside of that correction, no matter how big, no matter how many people in your camp, no matter how much you got this and get that. Like we say, gain don't always equal godliness. You know, and brothers got to learn to check their spirit, especially when we come up in ranks, you know, get more and more. And you got to still have that same humble spirit, man.
And that's another thing. Don't be in a hurry to be trying to move up, because then when the Most High start doing the judgment, I'll be like, well, you know, he put me up. Wasn't even up here. So start with them first, because you don't want that judgment on you now. Yeah, you everybody. I want to sit up there. Y'all can have this seat. There's a lot of stuff going on with this seat. If you want it, knock yourself out. But when that judgment comes, stay in that seat, though. I'm going to be sitting right back there with y'all. Yeah, I'm watching you getting judged, too. Okay, start with you. So be careful when you're ready, when you want to do something for the Most High. Before I want to be, you know, hey, label me a deacon. Label me bishop. So, label me a nobody.
Why y'all think it's 5 people up here? So we can divvy it up 20%.
Yeah. Starting out on the outside and coming in.
Still the same 20.
Yeah, I know. I'll be last again, though. I sit there and watch all.
And actually, see, the thing is, that's why we tell brothers and sisters that y'all don't understand that y'all got somebody that y'all can utilize all the time. We tell brothers and sisters, guess what? Anything y'all going through, your problem, whatever, our numbers is 24 hours a day access. When we say that we are a servant, guess what? We are a servant to the people, man. Yep. The higher up you become, the more servant you become to the people. And that's what a lot of people get into these camps, and they get these ranks and they don't feel like they got to do nothing no more. Oh, I'm just going to let them do it. No, guess what? If you think we didn't work our butt off from the beginning even to now, guess what? The people that been around us, they know we work our butts to the bone. And there ain't no game, no time to be played, man. That's how we got to be working, man.
Yeah, this hospital stays open.
It stays open.
Like I say, y'all don't get them 2, 3 o'clock in the morning calls. Like, yeah, brother, I'm listening. Real, I'm listening, brother. Yeah, so
I just had to learn how to get off the phone with some of them, boy, because I was like, yeah, you know what? Hold on, man. My hot water in there still running. Let me go turn this water off. Call me tomorrow. It's all this 24/7, man. But like I said, go ahead and finish it out.
Ungodly men turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness and denying the Lord, the only Lord God and our Lord Yahweh.
Then go ahead. Go read the next one.
I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not.
Man, he said destroyed it. He said, man, he got them. He got, man, the Most High got all this under control. He said, I took them out of Egypt and tore their butt up too. I put them in that grave too. They ain't want to believe nothing I was telling them.
All the signs of miracles.
No doubt, man. You done, and we ain't even in a position to say, look back and be talking about, man, our father was tripping. He opened up a sea and they still went back. Shoot, Negro, we was tripping right here today. He done opened up a Red Sea and we still went right back doing Christianity like a song gun. Dancing in the church. I'm dancing. I thought we were doing it.
And we so goofy. Look, when the Lord start blessing us and showing us that he's going to fight for us, we'll be like, just like when your parents ask, what you want for Christmas? I want some cereal. And like, no, I'm going to get you a toy. What kind of toy you want? Just give me maybe a pencil. We just ask the Lord for the stupidest stuff, man. Man, guess what? We need to be asking for redemption out of this place, man. Asking to get us away from this thing. We don't even know what to ask the Lord. We just ask the Lord for anything. We come to the truth. We ask the Lord for anything, man. Come on, man. Please, Lord, just let me. I see sister over there. She looking real good to me, sister. Lord, just let me get her. No, man. Lord, bring me a Proverbs 31.
All the men, I just need Lord, just give me about 2 or 3 wives. You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
You get one, can't handle it.
Man.
Coming out.
They better be the most humblest thing, bud. Because if they get anywhere out of line, you got 3 headaches in your head. And oh my goodness. No disrespect to you women. But when y'all get out of line, that could be some, that could be a very hard vibration on the man's brain. And having 3 of them, why I did, like he said, give me Proverbs 31. One that just want to obey the commandments. That's all I need. Just something that obey the commandments. Because I know if we obey the commandments, we can keep peace around here because all we got to do, we can both. When I'm out of line, you get the Bible. See, it say right here. Oh, yeah, you right. I can't argue with the Bible. When she out of line, here, let me get the Bible. She can't argue with me. Man, they both in agreement at all times, at all costs. Ain't gonna be no headaches. Why? Because we got I got a big old aspirin right here. Tylenol ain't got nothing on this. Advil will not help like this gonna help. And for you women, this better than Midol. You won't cramp up. Let's go to Matthew 23. Come on, man. You know what we coming. We on our way, huh? Y'all get it though, huh? Oh shit. Go, brother.
We starting at 1.
Yes, please. Hurry up.
Matthew 23, verse 1. Then spake Yahweh to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses.
They sit in Moses' seat. They think they know better yet. We gonna go get that. Let me get Deuteronomy 33:3. Guess what they sitting right there with Moses said, yeah, boy, we just like Moses, you know what I'm saying? We bringing this stuff out. We the Negro. Thought y'all was Israelite. No, we niggas.
No,
they were.
No, they some real niggas.
Yeah,
like,
I mean the real one, boy. NWA. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 33:3. Yea, he loved the people. All his saints are in thy hand, and they sat down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy word.
Go ahead.
Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob.
This is see, they sitting there. We get it. They feel like they the ones who gave the laws to them. So they can change them whenever they feel like they got a need to. They sit in these. Go back. Let's go back. I just want to get that for you.
Matthew 23:2.
You can start at 3.
Verse 3. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not.
They say and do not. Yeah, let's go to Romans chapter 2:19. Because they tell you, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. And they ain't doing none of it. That's what you need to do, not them though. So we got them, and you know we got a lot of them. Y'all know some. Y'all know some.
Romans 2, verse 19. And art confident that thou thyself art a guide of the blind, a light of them which are in darkness, an instructor of the foolish.
They're the guide of what?
A guide of the blind.
That's what they are. Go ahead.
A light of them which are in darkness.
A light of them which are in darkness. Go ahead.
An instructor of the foolish. A teacher of babes, which has the form of knowledge and of the truth in the law.
They got a form of knowledge. Because y'all go to some of them, they sound very smart, very intelligent. Some of these leaders and some of these camps, smart. Would throw out 1,000,000 scriptures like a Uzi. They ain't doing all of them. They ain't doing what the Bible say do. But they want you to do it, because if I can get you to do it, when you obey the commandment, that means I'll be nice to you, brother. Why he be just knocking you across your head and then use the Bible to justify it.
Because that's one of the main 2 problems that we do see in Israel. The first one is Leviticus 19 and 17. You're not loving your brother as you love yourself, or your sister as you love yourself. Then the second one, which is real heavy, a lot of brothers have respect of persons in camps, man. What a brother may bring to the table, guess what? A brother may take advantage of that. Oh, I see he can bring this to the table, so I'm gonna put him up here. I'm gonna do this right here. I see sister got a little pull, so I'm gonna keep her close to me, you know, and let brothers and sisters, let sisters get away with a lot of stuff, let brothers get away with a lot of stuff because of what they can bring to the table. That's having respect of persons. Because guess what? If your brother, if your sister is out of order, guess what? You're supposed to bring the correction to them every single time, man.
And guess what? That's good that y'all can see a multitude of leaders, because guess what? When we see one brother, hey, that he kind of like, look here, brother, your vision is altered because I think you see this, and we come together and we counsel about it. Guess what? We gonna get this thing right, man. To the T. We're gonna go to the scriptures and we're gonna air this thing out through the scriptures, man. Because a lot of times people, they on their respect the person type of deal, they look at that people, man, and people play on people's weaknesses, man. And when people try to play on that one person's weakness, guess what? Us being leaders together, all together, he trying to play on your weakness on this. Well, show me how. Then we go through the scriptures. Yeah, you're right about that. We done counseled about this. Now when this come up again, then we address it. A lot of times, guess what? Brother, you gonna take the correction or you're not gonna take the correction. But this is what the scriptures say, man. This is we're giving a good example, man, on how things supposed to roll. When the Bible said, do nothing without what? Counsel.
Man, brothers forget that, man. Facebook typers and everything, they do everything without counsel, man. That's why they on there looking like fools.
Let me bring the scriptures up. Romans chapter 10 and verse 2. Romans chapter 10 verse 2.
The book of Romans chapter 10 verse 2. For I bear the record that they have a zeal of God.
A lot of our people got a zeal of God. Even people that's going to Christian church, they got a zeal for God because we are the Israelites. We are his people. So they do have a zeal of God. Read on.
But not according to knowledge.
But not according to knowledge. And we know that knowledge is, what's the knowledge about it?
It's Psalms 19:7.
Remember, we always want to preach that with knowledge in it. Brother Shaya, what you got?
Knowledge. I know it's in Psalms.
Brother Joseph, what you got? Brother Stephen, what you got? The book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 7.
That's right.
Y'all write that thing down, especially for the brothers. You know we're gonna be on y'all already.
The book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law. The law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
So we the messengers of the Lord of hosts. So if we not preaching the law, then we ain't doing what the Lord told us to do. So a lot of our people got a zeal of God, but not according to the law, because they not teaching the law in the Christian church. Read on up.
For they being ignorant of God's righteousness.
They ignorant of God's righteousness, because like we just said, in the churches they going to, they're not teaching the law. So they don't understand. Matter of fact,
exactly. You got to get that thing.
What's righteousness, Brother Steve? Where you find righteousness at?
Abide.
Deuteronomy 6:45.
Praise
because a lot of them people use these words, they don't even know the true meaning of it. Got that out?
The book of Deuteronomy.
I'm glad you gave that definition. I was about to have to tell the men to sit over here and the women to go on this side.
Come on with
All praises.
All praise.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God as he commanded us.
As he commanded us. And don't let nobody trip you up. The laws, statutes, and commandments and the ordinances are all, they go together. So just because it may say commandments over here, it may say law over here, they still go together. I want to give them a precept on that too. What's that, 2 Kings 17?
No. I got too much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, finish that out. I think
Romans 10 and verse 3. For their being ignorant of God's righteousness, going about to establish their own righteousness, have submitted themselves unto have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
So they ain't submit themselves unto the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God, and they're going about doing their own thing, using people how they want to use them and using the scriptures how they want to use them.
And we just, because that's what this is going to clear that up, what you was going to go into. Go back to Romans 2 and 20, start at 21, 2 and 21. Let's finish this out.
Romans 2 and 21. Thou therefore which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself.
He said, thou therefore which teach another, but you ain't even taking heed to what you're teaching.
Right.
You gonna teach them that, but you ain't gonna do it. Boy, that'll be, I know this time we done said that a whole lot of times. You can go to your job. Boss trying to get you to do everything. That mug ain't never even came out the office. Ain't did nothing. Boy, the Edomites always on your job. They ain't never did the physical labor. They went to school and heard about what y'all do in the physical labor, but they ain't never did it. That's what our people do. Want to tell you something, but they ain't got nothing. They won't go do it. Go mow the lawn. And them son of guns don't even know what color the grass is. But they want you to get out there.
It's easier to be the coach than the
Yeah. That's like what we got right now, boys. We sitting on the hill with a whole army. Charge! And everybody's still standing because all of them talking about, I'm a chief. Oh, I'm a chief too. Well, who gonna fight? Him. Yeah. Go. Because the whole army, everybody chief. Everybody got to tell somebody something, but nobody want to go and obey the order though.
Exactly.
They fight. You just told the rest of them to charge, now they ain't gone. So what you got to do? Shouldn't you charge? I don't know. I don't know what part of the game is that. I don't know about that part. Me fight? No, I just trained to fight. I didn't know I had to fight.
Because the thing is, guess what? The Bible is all about order. It says, let all things be done decently and in order. When you first come into the truth, you don't already appoint yourself a bishop or a deacon, because guess what? You got to know how all positions go. Just in case a brother don't come, guess what? You got to take on that position when brothers don't show up. Guess what? You got to know how to read, because guess what? If a reader don't show up, we got to know how to read. Because that's one of the most important jobs out there when we are there teaching. So you got to go through the proper chain of commands, man. No one starts at the top, man, because a lot of times the Most High has it that way because our people, we don't respect it, man. Most High wants you to get in there and get your hand dirty, get your feet dirty, and learn to respect putting in this work, man. Go ahead.
He want us to pass through the fire, not tiptoe through
No doubt, man. We want to go put on one of them fireproof jackets on and hold on. Go through the fire. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Put all this stuff on. Then put water out on them. Hold on. Make sure this don't burn me. No, I said, no. I'm trying to burn off that nasty stuff. Off that weak stuff off of you. You ain't gonna go through that. Man, you ain't gonna get no gold. No pure gold. If I don't put you through the fire. You full of iron ore, raw materials, no good for nut materials. I gotta burn that off. Most I said, I gotta burn that off. So accept the going through the fire, because the fact that no matter when you go through the fire, gold looks great when it goes through the fire. When it's finished through the fire, it looks like a big old ball of nut, but when it comes through that fire, that gold stays shiny and bright and pure looking. So don't be scared to go through the fire. How y'all gonna be clean and you don't even want to take a bath?
Yeah, and the main thing, I remember when I first got in the walk from the man, I had met Maccabees at the grocery store, man. And it was tripped out how we met him. Now I met him. And man, about the first couple of weeks we was driving to class, I said, I'm tired of going through stuff. He said, look here, man. He said, look, how the Lord gonna fight for you? How the Lord gonna fight for you if he don't put you do nothing? I said, okay. I looked at him, I said, I guess we can start business. This was pretty cool, because it played on my mindset. Because the Lord has to take us through things to fight for us, to show us who he is.
Yeah.
He has to do that thing.
He had to take what? The children of Israel had to come out of Egypt First of all, they had to go through the Red Sea. You would have been hesitated right at the man. I'd have been stopped and said, man, we gotta walk through there. And this water, what if this water come down on my head and I'm going through there? I can't even swim. You know, I can swim. I'm just saying they probably could. You know, but at the same time, then you gotta before he could take you to the promised land, he had to take him through the wilderness now. Imagine like, man, we just came up out there through this water. We just came up out of slavery. Now you gotta go through the water. Now you want us to go chill in the woods? What? With the lion, tigers, and bears? Oh my!
And he also take you do things to strengthen you up. That's right.
Yes.
You up because, like I said, in 1 Corinthians 1:25, he took the base things of the word. He took us out of them streets that we was already in. And we didn't know about the streets. How can we attack and approach a brother that had been in the streets? Let them know, brother, I went through that same thing. You ain't saying nothing, bro. Oh yeah, I'm gonna come back and shoot. Yeah, we done heard it all.
And he got a multitude of different things because sometimes somebody can come up here and, man, I've been an alcoholic for the last, I ain't never been an alcoholic, but he have. You go over there and talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's other drugs that he ain't did, but hey, I got this. I did that. I went through that fire. I know how to come. I know how to go through that. You got the women do the same thing. Y'all done been through all kind of stuff. So when the women come through that door, well, it should be one of y'all that went through something that she went through. You take care of.
Plus, the Lord say, in our affliction, we will seek Him early. I'm pretty sure all of us have been afflicted. We got tired of it, so Lord, I'm coming to you now. I'm sorry, Lord. I know I've said it before, but this time it's for real. This time.
Where you at? Where we at?
21.
Huh?
21.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thou that preachest a man should not steal, doest thou steal?
Oh, boy. Oh, man, that's every Sunday. Y'all quit stealing. Why? You stealing? In fact, you just stole my money when you passed that around.
Who really robbing God?
No doubt. Would a man rob God? Might as well you doing it. They're like, what's his name? They're like the other pastor getting mad. How you getting mad at Kanye? Because he charged at the beginning of the service and you charged in the middle of the service? What's the difference? Same. You're doing the same thing.
He know how much he getting.
Yeah.
He charged $50 at the door.
Yeah.
Hey.
And a pastor gonna talk you way out of more than 50. That ain't 50.
You take the collection place up, he got money, draws, bras, everything in there.
Man, when you split that collection plate around and you put 50 in there, he's gonna say a couple of more scriptures and pass that plate around again. Yeah. You reach deep this time in your pocket. And they gonna take some more out of it. So that $50 ain't nothing. That's what they all stealing. They all stealing. In fact, they came together down in Houston to steal more. They collaborating. These is past collaborating. You know how we can get all the money from? Look, Joe, you got a big people. Hey, I'm gonna come down and do a concert with you. What? They gonna have one of Dallas. Y'all can bet Kanye gonna be right down the street at the Potter's house.
They getting real creative. I just seen a video where I guess it was a woman pastor. She was supposed to be dead.
Oh man, I
they
saw
had to
that.
give money to resurrect her. I said, boy, our people is finished, boy.
Stacking it on top of the lady. So she can, and I guess when it's enough, she gonna pop up. Hey, I'm back. I'm here. True. I guess. Wait a minute. I take $1 back. She should fall out, right?
I probably have.
All back dead. I'll be messing with her. Have her up and down.
I probably had to repent if I was there. Like, you know how you do your little brother when you were little, you get him down on the ground, you jump off the dresser. I probably would have jumped off the dresser on him. Made up with an elbow, man. Get your butt up, man. See, y'all, she ain't dead.
Let's go back and finish that up.
22?
Yeah.
Thou that says a man should not commit adultery, dost thou commit adultery? Thou that abhorrest idols, dost thou commit sacrilege?
And that's the same thing. They be doing it. See, I don't wear no cross. I wear the ain't. Remember that girl?
Yeah, the ain't.
I wear this ain't.
You wear the ain't.
I mean, I don't got no idol. Yeah, you do. You got some idols at the house. Some of you idolize your kids. Your children. I'll say Salaki. Your children. Kid is a goat. I hope we don't got no goats in here. Oh, we got our children here. Okay. I thought I saw a sheep back there. But go ahead, man.
Thou that makest thy boast of the law, through breaking the law, dishonoreth thou God.
They boast in the law. We keep the commandments. Lying it. Well,
They be lying on you.
they lying on me. Lying. No, darn well. I'm talking about, man, and then what they'll sit there, they be, oh man, I ain't getting nothing to eat today. Be in there cooking all kind of hamburgers on the Sabbath day, trying to get away with stuff, thinking that then get back in the morning, oh boy, I'm hungry, I ain't even made. Yeah, you did. You cooked the meal last night on the Sabbath. But then they gonna tell you, boy, you chew a piece of gum. You eating on the Sabbath? All on you. All on you. You suspended for 3 weeks. Negro, you just made a whole Thanksgiving meal on the Sabbath, and now I'm suspended for 3 weeks for chewing some gum on the Sabbath. That's what people do, man. Y'all gotta watch and discern these spirits on people. Quit being just jump out because they said I'm Israel and we friends already. Man, that man's right in there sitting next to you to pull your butt down. Don't you be thinking, dang, why can't you move up? The person actually pulling you down. But y'all didn't discern that spirit because y'all thinking everybody that say they Israelites just, oh yeah. So I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some camps that they leaders ain't no dang on good. No, and I'm gonna say it very good. No good. Liars. Liars. Cheaters. I'm talking about, like I had one camp barbecuing on the Sabbath.
Matter of fact, let me give Matthew chapter 7, verse 4 right quick, man. Then we go back. Because that's for real. But then they out here teaching, keep the Sabbath day, and you up here not keeping the Sabbath day, man.
Exactly.
You can't do that, man. We don't live like that, man. We Israel, man. You got to be Israel for real, man. Read that out.
Matthew 7 and 4. Oh, how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye.
They telling their people, oh, y'all need to keep the Sabbath, but he over here, man, they got a full-fledged barbecue over here, man. We can't be telling, we can't, look here, man. If I smoke cigarettes, I can't go up and tell you not to smoke no cigarettes, man. I can't sit up here and tell you that. But if I ain't smoking, and the Lord done deliver me from this, and I ain't doing this, guess what? I can tell you, hey, brother, that the Lord deliver you from that, man. You can stop, man. That's going to these precepts, man. Let's read, man. Maybe the Lord will guide us and show us the way, man. That ain't the way what you doing. But you trying to pull them out. Brother, you need to start smoking. He's looking at you. Negro, you smoke too. We can't do that, man. We not to live like that, man.
Read that again. Hold on. Read that again.
Or how will thou...
No. Start over.
Yeah, verse 4.
Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote of thine eye?
Mote ain't that big. He up there telling you, man.
You got a little crumb.
Yeah, you got that little eye boogie in the corner. You need to get that up out your eye before you go into this building. And this song gonna read that. But what he got in his though.
And behold, a beam is in thine own.
A beam.
His eye closed shut.
Beam.
You smoke one pack a day.
This nigga got a part of a building in his eye. It's in his eye, but he telling you wrong because you got. See, man, see, we can't have this going on. And then if this man turns sideways, he don't even got half a body. I'm trying to tell you, man. That's crazy, man. I'm telling you, man. And be careful what you're telling other people too. Me, myself, and everybody in here. Be careful what you talking, running your mouth off about too, because you gotta be. You ain't all the way clean neither right now.
That's it.
So just because your face clean, man, if I get a Q-tip and put in your ear, you're gonna have about 2 pounds of wax falling back on that. Let's keep, dang it. Dang, done went to 5 boxes of Q-tips. But your nose clean, nose, it look clean anyway. So be careful what we be talking around. We be talking to other people. Make sure we clean up ourselves.
Read verse 5. They're gonna clear it up. Man, your house shot was no joke, man. Read up.
Thou hypocrite. First cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
Get yourself in order first before you get somebody else's in order. That's why we try to do the same thing. Tonight we're trying to tell brothers, like when you try to build brothers up, man. Like guess what? To help brothers, teach brothers how teach brothers how to read strong in these words. Show brothers how to get these precepts to heal these people, man. Of their sickness that I got, because our people are sick out here, man. When you see people going through things, there's a sickness in these people, man. We got to cast our old self away and the things that we did so we can be able to teach the people and show the people the right way.
Oh, praise. Now what I want to do right here, I'm gonna cut this off, and what we're gonna do is because this can go for a while. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another class. I do it just whenever we got another free time. We'll do a part 2 on this. Y'all wanna keep going? Yeah, we go.
Yeah, let's we'll go cover your Matthew 23.
Yeah, let's go back. Yeah. Get what I just said.
But now,
I'm in the Pharisees right now. Don't do what I just said.
Start at verse 3.
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 3. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works.
Hold on, read that again.
All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe.
You observe. And just because they told you something, you need to go check them scriptures. You need to go observe this thing. Don't just get to run out because somebody done said, you need to be doing that. No, you know. Well, hold on. Let me make sure it's in the scripture.
And observe is like discern.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that you ain't going against some scripture because they done told they how you going against these scriptures. And the Most High gonna take care of you, but because you didn't observe, because you didn't go study, you didn't go look it up. You just went on whatever he told you. When he said, well, what you gonna tell the Most High? Well, he had told me such and such. He gonna be like, depart from me, you work up iniquity.
That's what Adam did. Even our forefather Adam did. He said, man, why'd you eat off that tree? Well, the woman you gave me, she wanted.
Yeah.
Did the same thing, man.
Just like Negro, boy. They gonna blame it on anybody. Wait a minute. That woman you gave, you know what I'm saying? He blamed on her. You didn't have to eat the apple. You didn't have to go eat the apple. You didn't have to eat the fruit. Well, go ahead.
Adam, I ain't taking to eat it.
That's exactly
Might as well. It look good. It's red.
Lord, I ain't even tell him to eat it. He wanted some on his own.
That observe and do, but do ye not after their works, but they say and do not.
Because he said, if you observe and do, but don't do after they work, because they ain't doing the works. But you won't know if you don't observe. You won't know that they not doing the works. See, if you don't go learn the laws, how you gonna know when they tell you that's the law?
That's why you say study.
Yeah, so everybody go learn these laws. That's why we give you laws all the time. We don't just tell you follow the law. If you don't go study laws, you ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. If I tell you, sis, you ain't supposed to have no you ain't supposed to wear that, you ain't supposed to have no pants on. Well, if you don't go look that up or go look at it or go look at the history, you ain't gonna, because he said it. Then you go and look at the scripture and find out you can wear miniskirts. But that ain't true. Don't get that twisted now. I ain't rewind all that. I don't want y'all mess around there and say, Maccabee said I can wear these skirts. No.
A prime example, real quick. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 15, a scripture that we always bring out. 15 and verse 1. Go through this little spiel real quick, get back to Captain Maccabees.
Matthew 15 and 1. Then came to Yahushua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat
So
bread.
you see what they was asking them, transgress the traditions. He didn't say the commandments. You know, that's what our people are stuck on today, celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Day. Traditions of men, we learned those things in slavery. Why would we keep perpetrating the lies? Read on up.
But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
So Christ was cutting a man to shreds. So you want to flip it on me, I'm going to flip it back up on you. Why are you breaking God's laws? By your traditions. You know?
Yeah, that's what he's telling him, man. Why ain't they celebrating Christmas? And he said, why is you celebrating Christmas breaking God's law? Man, imagine how that,
Because Brother Keenan, is washing your hands before you eat, is that a commandment? No, it's not. It's good hygiene.
Sanitary.
It's good sanitary, you know, but guess what? It's not a commandment of the Most High God, man. You know, so that's why I asked them is bringing be well understood in the law.
I'm glad you said that too, because that's what a lot of people do too. They go by the sayings of man.
Yeah, exactly.
God bless those who bless themselves. I guess I'll go just rob this house then, you know what I'm saying? I'm blessing myself.
Or there's one of the favorite scriptures. I'm sure y'all know. God says, come as you are. Brothers and sisters, we still looking for that damn scripture.
As a matter of fact, hold up. And jump down to verse 11, because guess what? We know people reach, and we gonna cover it. Jump down to verse 11 right quick.
15 and 11, Matthew. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, that defileth the man.
See, because guess what? Out of your mouth, you can sin can come out of your mouth. But guess what? Now people will take this. Oh, you can go eat anything. You can eat pork. No, that ain't what they're saying. He just read the. Now jump back up.
Hold on, let me get you.
Go ahead.
Read that. What you just
I know you want to eat on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man.
Not that which going into the mouth defileth the man. First of all, we get all kind of philosophies every day. We got man-made, we got scientists, we got Dr. Phil. We got all kind of philosophy that goes into our mouth. That's what we take in every day. Every time we turn on that TV, we getting something in our mouth. The fact of the matter is, what that's talking about, what comes out of a man. Are you obeying these laws? Despite all that stuff that we're going through, despite all the philosophy that you heard, what's coming out of you? What's coming out of you? Are you going to get up in the morning, pray to the east, and do these laws, statutes, and commandments? That's what comes out of. A whole lot of stuff go with us every day. As soon as we leave and go home, you're going to be full of stuff that ain't supposed to be there. But what is you going to do? What's going to come out of you? Are you going to take in that garbage that you ate? Or this righteousness is going to come out of it?
Because guess what? That's how people, and Christians are pulled they're pulled it to try to say that they can go eat any and everything, but don't understand what's going on. It's not saying that you can go eat pork. The law was already established. You can't change the law. The Lord said, have I spoken, it's going to be made good, man.
And boy, that's so crazy, boy, because that pork is something else, ain't it? I mean, man, it's like all this whole Bible, but they go and find a way. I got to find something to eat some pork. I got to have that sausage. That breakfast, I can't do breakfast without, man, let me find the scripture. These Negroes can't tell me. They go and find this. Boy, when they found this, they passed this around. I got one for them. When they tell you this, bring that out.
Read Matthew 15 and 11.
Yeah.
Read Matthew. I know they're finna get cut up.
Yeah. Worms all rolling all through their body. But go ahead. You that's it.
No, that's it.
Okay, let's go.
Because it explained itself. He just read Matthew 15 and 1. It explained itself already.
23.
Yeah.
That 23 and 4.
Matthew 23 and 4. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers.
They won't, oh boy, they'll put everything on, but they ain't gonna do nothing. In fact, better yet, you can go back to that Matthew 11 and go to 29. Go to 29. Because when the Most High put a burden on you, he said, I ain't gonna put nothing on you that you can't bear. That's one thing I had really. I'm gonna tell you what got me through a lot of stuff. When I was going through a lot of stuff, one thing I know, when he told me that, I realized, even though I'm going through this and it seemed bad, but he told that ain't nothing that I can't bear. So apparently, whatever I'm going through, I can bear this burden.
That's right.
It ain't gonna overweigh me. Now, if I go start listening to everybody and their mama, yes, then I'm gonna be sitting there. I can't lift my neck up because they sitting on me. But the Most High said, I ain't putting nothing on you that you can't bear. So anything that you going through, ain't no way in the world you cannot get out of if you trust the Most High. There's no way, because he said it. And if he said it and it ain't true, then he lied. So we might well throw the Bible away anyway. It ain't no good. But if you believe this Bible, so I don't care what you got going on. Your daughter doing this, got baby. Oh, well. That means we finna bear through this. She might not like it how we gotta go through, but we finna go through this because he said it's got. I can handle this.
I got this.
My son up here got lipstick on. Oh, okay. I know he ain't finna be homosexual, so we finna find something. We finna bear this.
That's right, man.
You finna be one. No, we not buying you no dress. No, we finna bear this. You finna not be that. But we gotta trust in the Most High because he is not going, he ain't finna put nothing that heavy on you. Man will. You keep going. Yeah.
1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There have no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. What will be the temptation, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear.
He gonna do what?
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it.
It's always a way out of whatever you're going through.
And even to jump up to the first part, it says, there had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Mm.
So guess what? Our fathers, foremothers was going through the same stuff that we're going through today, man. So it ain't just some new thing that just popped on the earth, man.
Mm.
But guess what? We deal with it according to the scriptures. That's how you're able to bear it. When you're trying to lean on your own understanding and go outside of the Bible, that's where the problems come in.
Yeah.
That's where your problems become multiplied.
And that's why he don't want us to get in all our emotions, because our emotions take you into that state of depression. And that state of depression leads us to making up excuses why we can't do what the Most High said you can do. And we love to use that. The United States done just turned that into a sign. You depressed. You know, my brother just got shot. Yeah, you depressed. Well, I just lost my job. Yeah, you depressed. They everything is depressed now. They want you to feel so depressed. You go on right believing. You know, I'm in depression.
Get your butt up, man.
You know what I'm saying? For everything they want you to do. Yeah, you need to go get some drugs. Take these pills. Take this value.
Ooh, my husband left. I'm gonna just whore myself out.
All that. Yeah, because you're caught up in your feelings. That's why he said, don't get like, even you women, I know he made y'all emotional. But even at that, you gotta be able to control those things. Don't be like the rest of the women, finding an excuse to be depressed. Because I done did it myself. I used to have a song, I used to get in my state of depression and sing this song, I hate life. He hate life. She hate life. We all hate life. I literally get in myself saying that. Because I was just wanting, don't come and talk to me. I don't want you, don't be happy around me. I want to be depressed. I just want to be like that. I just want, man, I don't want to hear nothing from you. Brother be telling me, man, let's go here. Man, I don't want to go nowhere. They just trying to help you out. You just want to be, I want to be mad. I want to be in my feelings. I didn't want to be sad for myself. I want to feel sorry for myself. Don't get in that state of mind where we get caught up in our feelings, and that feelings take us to that point where we at a state of depression. and America will back you up. They got it's a disease with your name on it. What they call it, but they're gonna give you something. AAD, they gonna BAD, TAC, they gonna make up something for you. They got one for you. They'll put some alphabets together for you. Give you 3 of them. What you say you do?
TIZ to the HIV.
Oh yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
And I get out of my HOE. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, they got it. So don't let this place fool you. This ain't your place of rest, no way. That's what our people need to quit doing. Resting in this place. Because that's what they hey, y'all sitting back there, think you're on the beach and why, who, and they just massaging all that philosophy in your head. Oh yes, yes, yeah, you're gonna be second to us. Yes. You're gonna be no good, And we just eating it up, thinking we relaxed on the beach. We just laid back. I'm in the wild, and they massaging all of that crap in your head. They massaging you to be nothing. And we just love it because we don't know what the good tastes like. And the good is in this Bible.
And on top of that,
statutes and commandments.
The Most High didn't make us to be depressed. One of the reasons why we got cursed because we were supposed to serve him with joyfulness and gladness of heart. If that start getting taken away, that means that there's a problem with the situation. Because all of us supposed to be serving him together with joy and gladness of heart. We supposed to be laughing and having fun while we learning this word. It ain't supposed to be all somber and depressing like the Catholic Church. You go in the Catholic Church, you like, what the heck is going on up in here?
And why? My bad.
Go ahead.
Why? Think about it. Even though they putting us in a state to where we want to be depressed or we think we should be depressed, think about it. We got the only God that works. So why in the world should we be depressed? We should be the most happy. They should be looking at us, man. You got roaches and rats running in there. You only live in that little box and you happy. Yes. We got the God of Israel. I don't know what you're talking about. We got the greatest thing on the planet. We just want to be depressed. Well, they depressed? Yeah, I would be depressed too, knowing I ain't got no room for salvation. They should be depressed. But we shouldn't. I don't care what it looked like. We ain't got nothing. Oh, well, we got the only God. Y'all gonna get it. We got the only God that works. Everybody got gods all over the place. We the only one got the one that works. Man, imagine being the kid and the only time they don't open every present under the tree and only your toy works. Only yours. They were laughing at you. Remember when you pulled it out the box, they laughing. That's all they got, that little car. That mug got PlayStation 4. You got your little car, you ain't messing with it. They done got the TV don't come on, the game don't work. He got a music, it don't work. And then here you got your little car. But that song gonna dry you all the way to Europe.
Let me bring this priest up. This is why we should be happy. The book of John, chapter 4, verse 22.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not.
These people worship and they don't even know what they worship. They worship the statues and stars and the sun and things like that. Read on up.
We know what we worship.
We should be happy because we know what we worship. We worship the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right.
We could put a name on that thing.
That's
Read on up.
Well, salvation is for the Jews.
Because salvation is of who?
For the Jews.
We should be happy for that, man.
That's right.
Salvation is of the Jews. It ain't of the heathens. That's a gift that the Most High gave to us. I know we may have been sad. Some people be sad that they black, or so-called black, because they don't know no better. And I was riding the other day, I said, Lord, thank you. I'm looking at my melon. Lord, thank you. I'm glad I didn't know who I was at first, because now I know who I am now, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. So that's the reason to be glad every single day, because we know this ain't for nothing. We ain't got to say YOLO, because we only got one life to live. We got everlasting salvation sitting in front of us.
That's right. All praise. And from right down, we're going to go ahead and get a law for you, because every time we always saying, keep the law.
I got a law. You got one on? I got one. I want to bring this thing out.
Okay.
Man, because the
Bring it out. What we do is we tell you to keep the laws, but we give you a law after every class. So write them down. So hopefully, like about it, however long it may take us, hopefully we'll be doing this till the kingdom comes. So you should have all 613 by then. We'll be right there when the Most High coming. I'm on my 613. You should be, you got them. Just keep them.
I'm giving this because this is for everybody to keep this in your notes. For anybody want to dispute on the law and the commandment. Oh, this is the law. The commandment is this. The laws is done away with. 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 37.
Y'all make sure y'all write that down because that's exactly what this gonna show you that the law, statute, and commandments are one and the same.
All right.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 37. And the statute
and the statutes
and the ordinances
and the ordinances
and the law
and the law
and the commandment which he wrote for you, ye shall observe to do forevermore.
For how long?
Forevermore.
He done away with
forevermore.
Forevermore. Read on.
And ye shall not fear of the God.
And we shall not fear of the gods, wood and stone and statues and suns and moons. Read 38. And
the covenant that I have made with you, ye shall not forget, neither shall ye fear other gods.
He repeated that thing, man. And that God is the lowercase. So if somebody run around here like the white man think he a God,
oh, just for
the Lord said, don't fear him, man.
Don't fear him.
Read 39, huh?
But the Lord your God ye shall fear.
But who?
But the Lord your God ye shall fear.
Hold on. Say that with it. Do that.
But the Lord your God.
The Lord what?
Your God.
Oh God.
Our God.
I'm not, believe me, I'm giving them a piece of our God. I'm just saying that I just want to show you how personal that is. Yours. There ain't no room for depression, and y'all better make sure you don't listen to these Pharisees and Sadducees, which we're gonna do the rest of that. So don't think that y'all escape Pharisees. We're gonna come back to y'all. But go ahead.
Ye shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of the hands of all your enemies.
All your enemies. Oh man, listen. Read that. But put some emphasis on the word all.
And he shall deliver you out of the hands of all your enemies.
That's about 100 L's at the end. All your enemies. So anything that y'all got to confront with that's coming against you, he said, I'll deliver you out of everything. Right. All. Y'all know what all mean, don't you? All? All, man. That's all, man. Finish that out. That's it. And go ahead and give me a little closure.
Those is on Facebook, man. Thanks for tuning in. I hope y'all brothers and sisters got edified today. Those on YouTube the same way. Those have been given to the GoFundMe page, man. All praise to the Most High for that, man. Your brothers and sisters give to the GoFundMe. Their money will be used according to how the Most High say to use it, not how we use it in our own pocket. Feast of dedication starts December the 20th through the 27th. And I guess that's it.
Yeah, the main ball will be on the 21st.
And the main ball will be on 21st. If those that need our contact will be in the description below. If y'all trying to come to the Feast of dedication.
All praise. And on that note, we say shalom.
Shalom.